What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how to beat a DB that is 2 to 3 yards off. So today we're going to be talking about 3 different releases that you guys can do when you got a DB who's 2 to 3 yards off, kind of in that catch technique, and what you can do to beat that DB and make sure you get as much separation as possible, okay? But also, fellas, if you guys want a 2-month-long wide receiver gym program, the first month is our original wide receiver gym program with all the exercises you need to become a faster, better route runner, overall better wide receiver. And then the second month is pretty much the same concepts, but it's more advanced exercises. Exercise is going to help you see results faster. So check out that very first link in the description for a 2-month wide receiver gym program, specific exercises for the wide receiver position. It's not just exercises that you could do regularly in the gym every day that you can find on YouTube. It's specific wide receiver exercise. So I hope we get you guys on that soon. Again, very first link in the description for a wide receiver gym bundle, 2 months at a discounted price. Let's get started with this video. So first route we're going to be looking at here is from Jerry Jeudy. We're mainly just going to be focusing on his release right here, okay? So now, when I got a DB who, again, 2 to 3 yards off, kind of inside shade, and sometimes it's even like a yard off. Even if he's a yard off, this still kind of applies. This principle still applies. We want to make sure that we close the distance with him as best as possible, right? So you guys know that when a DB is a little bit inside shade, what is he usually trying to protect? He's trying to protect the inside. He doesn't want to give up the slant. He doesn't want to let Jerry Jeudy cross his face. Probably doesn't have much help over the middle. That's why, right? He wants to force him to the outside. So that's where I want to threaten him. So when you see how Jeudy comes off here, when we have any kind of space to work with this DB, it's so important that you guys really sell with your upper half and really throw with this cut, right? You see how Jeudy, when he makes this cut, he's throwing his hip. That's the terminology that we like to use. You want to throw your hip. You want to throw your whole entire upper half with this cut. What the mistake a lot of receivers will make in this scenario is that they got a little bit of space to work, so they'll make that first cut. They'll make the second cut right here, but their body's already going to the outside. So they'll step with this leg, but it's a super weak step, right? And then their hips are already going out this way. This DB's not going to jump, and then he's all over this route. And then they look at me like, oh, well, that didn't work. But you got to actually sell with your upper half. It's like you're playing basketball with this guy. Sometimes I've heard guys say like, hey, it helps me process in my head when I pretend like I actually have a basketball in my hands when I'm working in this thing out, so I could build that good muscle memory and build that good habit. So you really want to make sure you bring your upper half with the cut. Throw your upper half with the cut. You see guys all the time do drills where they have like a med ball right here, and when they throw to the outside, they bring that med ball to their opposite hip. That's what that's working on. That's working on that explosion. So really make sure anytime this DB gives us that 2 to 3 yard cushion, we got to sell with my upper half. Whether it's like maybe I come off here, maybe I got to take an inside release and I do this wide step release. Same idea. You want to bring your body to the outside to move this DB off that platform. He ain't going to move if, one, you don't step outside of his frame and you don't step to that far left lane, and 2, if you don't actually bring your body with it. He's not going to move. He's going to stay straight there. If you just do two weak little steps, you think you're quick twitch, and then you get out of this route. You got to make sure we sell. You got to make sure we bring my entire upper half with this cut so I could explode off of this leg and then push up vertical. And you see what he's able to do. You see the separation he's able to create. What this DB wants when he's in this 2 to 3 yard catch technique is that you think that you got some space and you just run off on the route. He gets hands on you, then he reroutes you. You guys got to make sure that you move him off that platform. You throw with your upper half. Throw with your upper half, and you get him to jump to the inside, okay? Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. So he comes off here. Great job throwing, moving this DB, then bursting up into this route. Great route by Jerry Jeudy, okay? So now we're going to be looking at this fade route right here. Mainly going to be talking about the restack, okay? So now this pretty simple, I wouldn't say simple move, but pretty self-explanatory move right here where you come off the line. And again, what do we talk about all the time when we have off man, when we have like an off man situation, like off man coverage, not necessarily off man, but again, like this 2 to 3 yard catch technique where he just wants us to run right into him so he could get hands. You want to close the distance. You want to take it to this DB, right? So like we talked about it before where like maybe you're on the goal line and this DB's inside shade. You don't want to just run away from him. You want to take it to him. You want to try to square him up. You want to be able to make a move. And a lot of the times when you're squaring up this DB, you're trying to read this DB. You're trying to see how he's going to play this thing. Is he going to maybe shoot to the inside so I can just take the outside? Is he going to shoot back outside? Is he going to keep backpedaling? What's he going to do? So this receiver does a great job of closing the distance, giving that move to the outside. And again, you see when he makes that move, what does he do with that upper half? Upper half goes with the cut. Obviously not to the extent of Jeudy, right? But when you close the distance and you make this, they call this an open field crossover, or it's an open field 1-2. You got to make sure that your body goes with this cut. You got to make sure that you actually throw to the outside to get this DB to jump to the outside. That's the only way I do it. Now, when I get this DB to jump, especially when you got this 2 to 3 yard cushion, he's got space to kind of recover, right? He's 2 to 3 yards off. He could recover, right? He could open back up his hips. He could still be able to make this play. So you got to make sure that if you have any route that pushes vertical, even a little bit, like maybe you have a post, corner, where you got to actually get back on that stem and get back on that horse, you got to restack, especially with an inside release. And this goes to show that you can run an inside release on a fade route, right? So you see how he comes off here, does a great job of dipping that shoulder, does a great job of accelerating off that move, because when this DB doesn't have hands, it should be a wrap. We should win every single time, or at least get the separation in order to win, right? It's up to the quarterback to give us a good ball, but we got to make sure that off of that move, I close the distance, I get him off that platform, I make him pay for that. I get in a good pad level, I dip that shoulder, I shoulder reduce. You don't obviously have to reduce to the factor like your hands almost touching the ground. Sometimes you might, but dipping that shoulder to be able to get back over the top. When we're in this position right here, I know he's got another guy coming back over the top, but let's say we had to run like a post. We could hit him with a rocker step. Let's say we had to run a corner. We could hit him with a rocker step and go here. We go heavy indicator on the dig route. We could do so many different things that when I restack a DB, when I close the distance with him and he's got that 2 to 3 yard cushion, because again, he's giving himself that cushion. He doesn't have hands on you. So if you could do what we talk about off the line, actually throw him off that platform, actually move him, then work to restack, he's screwed because he doesn't have hands, right? They say like 70% of the time when a DB gets hands, he will win that rep, right? So that's 7 out of 10 times he gets hands, he wins, right? So we got to make sure that we don't let him get hands. We're constantly fighting his hands like in the last clip, but when he's 2 to 3 yards off, he already is starting with that. It's not like he's in a jam. It's not like he's going to get hands right away. So you close the distance, put him on the defensive, make that move, then let's work to restack to be able to get as much separation as possible. Let's watch the thing again, full speed. I know this comes up quick, but make sure we attack him, give him that move, work to restack, and then obviously just make this play downfield. Again, too, you see how this safety's coming over the top? You got to know, too, this DB, maybe he's like 2 to 3 yards off. Maybe it's like a cover 2 situation, or maybe it's a situation where he's got help to the inside. So we got to understand that. That's why it's so important to have a high football IQ at the receiver position so we know how to structure these certain types of things, okay? So now let's look at this last release here by Thayer Thomas, right? So this is a clip that I posted last week and then obviously Thayer posted this a little bit while ago, but this clip was sent to me, and I thought this was a great example of what to do when maybe you're a smaller guy and you got a bigger DB who's maybe about 6'1", 6'2", could be physical, but again, we're off the ball, right? So he's off the ball, he's not on the ball, right? So when I come on, or actually he might be on the ball in this case, but this could be like a situation, especially out of the slot, where you're off the ball. It looks like it's tough to tell, but it looks like he's probably on the ball in this situation. But again, you look where this DB's at, we got about 2 yards, right? So we got 1 yard, 2 yard. He's sitting at about 2 yards off. So I got some space to work, especially if I'm running a slant, especially if I'm running like a delayed slant, right? Like where you're maybe the third read, where like, let's say we got a post on the outside, corner from the inside, and you got this slant right back underneath. Quarterback's going from post to corner to slant. I got some time to work, so I got to use this space that he gave me, right? Especially against a big physical dude. I'm not going to try to get in a hand fight just like a jiu-jitsu fighter isn't going to try to box a boxer. You know what I mean? He's going to beat him with jiu-jitsu. He's going to take him down. Same thing with us. I'm a smaller dude. I'm going to beat this guy with quickness. I'm going to beat this guy with range, right? So I come off here. I slide to the outside. I stay in this range, and now this DB doesn't have a chance to get hands. So if you got a 2 to 3 yard cushion with this DB, and you're running a slant route, this is that perfect opportunity to work that slide release, work that little hesitation, skip to the outside, then give him that move, get him to throw off this platform, because again, worst case scenario, he doesn't want to get slid to the outside and then just beat, especially if he's inside shade, right? He's inside shade, man coverage, there ain't no help, so he doesn't want to get beat over the top either, just as much as he doesn't want to get beat to the inside. He wants to force you to the outside, but he does not want to get beat to the outside. So if you can make all these releases look the same, where again, if he's got like a 2 to 3 yard cushion, maybe a couple times in the game, you give this little slide and then you just go. You see guys like Devontae Adams do that all the time. Jerry Jeudy will do that. And then now maybe we come out, we give a little slide, give him a move, and then I slip back underneath him, and then I run this slant and I catch this ball. So that's how you make things look the same. But when he's 2 to 3 yards off and maybe you're running a slant, maybe you got to run a fade, that slide release, and you use that range that he gave you, that's easy money for a receiver. You got to keep that DB in that range. Force him to make a decision to either stay to the inside with you or actually shuffle out and commit to this break. Let's watch it again full speed. So he slides, gives him that 1-2, and then make sure that we accelerate and make this DB pay for that space that he just gave you. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please leave those in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And really appreciate you guys watching. And again, if you want a 2-month wide receiver gym specific program, a specific program for solely wide receivers to get better in the gym, improve your route running, improve your hands with grip strength exercise, improve your explosiveness, speed, all the above, check out that very first link in the description. Hope we get you guys on that soon, and I'll see you guys next time.